Hi everybody and welcome back to Eagle Couch. I'm Vincent and this is our very special video series in honor of our company's 5th anniversary. In our previous episode we showed you the world exclusive reveal of our beta series laser design and promised you some detailed specifications on the available models, KV options, shaft options, and without any further ado, let's have a look what our engineers come up with and dive right in. So within our Eagle beta series there are a variety of different models, and the first one we're going to have a look at now is the 4025 HT model. This model has already been released with the Kraken 580. There was an 1190 kV option back at the time as a high kV 6S option, and as explained in our last episode, we already had our pilots test the 550 and the 1050 kV models for the last 6-7 months because we assumed that those would be the main models, the primary models to focus and to get those ready for our dealers and our distributors as soon as possible. They are still technically in beta. They will be switched to production state very soon, so if you want to get them with our new Eagle Drift beta lasering design still, you should try to get them soon and quickly, and we're going to try to make these two models available to some selected resellers as well already. There's also a 580 kV option, a 790 kV option, 825, 850, so those would be scale to F3E ranges. There is a 935 kV option and a 1050 kV option to complement the 1190 kV that is already out there. The next size we're going to talk about is the 4035 HT, and in this 4035 HT there's going to be various options for scale and for 3D applications. The 390 kV and the 470 kV, we picture those to be primarily in the scale range, and there's going to be a 530, a 550 and a 575 kV to play around with for the 3D and sportsman flying. All of these come with a 6x38mm shaft. The 4025 HT at the moment comes with a 6x32mm shaft. As explained in our previous episode, those are preliminary shafts and not all the shaft options are available yet, but depending on demand and what you guys are asking for, we're going to add a few selected shaft models to all of the motors in the future. If you want to go even bigger, there's a 5040 HS motor to play around with now in our beta series. It comes in a 500 kV, a 535 kV and a 565 kV option with an 8mm shaft in either 34 or 45mm length. So this is going to be really great for large scale birds, huge scale birds, and probably speed machines. We're going to experiment with that as well. On top of that, we have a totally new status size that we haven't revealed yet. We plan to do so today, but as it so happens, just on Wednesday, we recorded a really nice interview with Frank and Javier from the Skids Up podcast. And in honor of their You Heard It Here First idea, I promised to keep the 4th status size that I talked about in our interview a secret and a mystery until this show comes out. So to find out more, listen to episode number 25 of the Skids Up podcast when it comes out, with Frank and Javier and me talking about our motors, our new beta program, and the 4th secret status size that you'll be able to play around with in our beta series. So those should give you quite a few options to play around with and experiment with. We're very curious to hear and see what you're going to come up with, the model combinations you want to try, the gearing options you want to play around with. Let us know if you see any KV that is missing, because we can, of course, on our hand-wound motors do custom KVs just as much as we do on our regular motors for free and within usually just 24 hours. This is going to be even more valid for the beta motors with a more direct contact with we seek for with our users. Be sure to tune into season 3, episode 25 of the Skids Up podcast with Frank, Javier, and me talking about the new beta motors and the 4th status size that has not been revealed yet. The raffle we had planned for today, due to the eventful week between filming the show for you, all the testing for the new motors, and the interview that we gave to Frank and Javier on Wednesday, is not going to happen today, but it's going to be on Wednesday. So if you haven't shared the posts from this week's Eagle Drift Couch yet, do that for a chance to win one of the motors. We hope to have you back on the next episode. Thank you very much for watching, and we can't wait to hear your feedback from my Eagle Drift beta series. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.